You only get one shot at doing this. If you put your plants out at the wrong time, they're going to die. Your season is going to be shot. Different plants are going to go out at different times. There's some plants making their way outside, and there's lots of stuff growing. But don't let all the green and the day's weather fool you. We still got some cooler weather ahead, and we need to know when we can actually put out a lot of our plants that we started inside. So today in this video, we're going to be discussing when to plant your plants outdoors so they don't die. We're going to cover different types of crops in this video because not all plants are the same. We're going to be talking about some cold crops, the crops that can tolerate some of the cooler temperatures. We're going to talk about some warm crops, and then we're going to talk about some crops that need extra warmth than some of those warm crops. But let's start out with the major guideline, the last frost date. Now, I think the last frost date is a big lie, and it's more of a reference than it is something to actually work off of. So here's an example. In Michigan here, I've been here for 4 years now gardening, and my last frost date for my area in zone 5B is going to be around May 15th. I've not seen a single year past 4 years where there was not a frost after May 15th. That means if I would have used the last frost date as a guideline to plant out my tomatoes, peppers, all that good stuff, they would have all died. So we want to avoid that. That's why I'm making this video. So let's get started with cold crops. So that's going to be plants like your onions, radishes, globe artichokes, chives, and your brassicas like your kales, cabbage, lettuce. And don't forget the peas. Now these plants don't necessarily prefer cold weather, but they can tolerate it. Something like this kale, or especially onions, can tolerate temperatures around 25 to 30 degrees. Anything lower than 30 is kind of pushing it, but if you get one night that's like 25, they should be okay. They might be a little stressed out, but they will recover. Here's what I do. Around mid-April, I start looking for signs of spring. That's when you got the trees are starting to get their blooms on them. You got some leaves starting to form. Some of the native plants are starting to come up, and the temperature outlook looks pretty decent. Now, if I look 2 weeks ahead and I see we're going to be getting snow, some super cold temperatures, it's really not worth putting these out yet because a lot of these plants grow really fast. So that extra couple weeks isn't really going to help you out a lot. So for all the cold crops I just listed, in Michigan, zones 5B, you can look at zone 6 and maybe even down to zone 4. We're looking for some stable, more consistent temperatures with some higher temperatures, just nothing crazy low. If you want to play it real safe, wait till the last week in April or the beginning of May. Temperatures are still cool enough that these plants will thrive and not get baked by the sun, and it's still going to give you plenty of time to get good harvests out of them. And around that time here, yes, we could get some snow, we could get some cooler night temperatures. We have been getting them. These cold crops that have been out here did get a 25-degree night a couple weeks ago, and they're still all right. As far as direct sowing goes, I can show you what nature's told me here. So inside here, I see a little purple lettuce coming up. We got some dill coming up. We have tons of radishes coming up throughout the garden. When it comes to direct sowing, soil temperature's a little more important. Yes, you can plant your peas in the beginning of April. A lot of people do it. But what you're going to find is it's going to take them a long time to sprout. And when peas take a long time to sprout, they have more opportunity to rot inside the ground and more opportunity for rodents to get them. So I like to take my peas, sow them a little bit later when the ground heats up a little bit. So these have been out here for about 3 weeks now, but have only really grown in the past week and a half to 2 weeks. And I found when it comes to my carrots and my beets, they prefer the warmer temperatures as well. So these carrots went in about a week and a half ago, and yes, I have kept them moist, and I'm really not seeing any germination yet. And same thing with the beets. But with the 80-degree temperatures coming up this next week, I think we're going to have some life in here. To summarize, cold crops in zones 5 and 6. We are looking mid-April to early May, maybe even mid-May. You're looking for an extended outlook. check the weather app. We know they're always wrong, but they're generally close. Just make sure there's no temperatures below 25 degrees. And if you see a couple days in a row, even in the 30-degree range, maybe just wait a little bit. Consistency is better than major fluctuations. So next, let's talk about the warm crops. It's mid-May here in Michigan. I have all my tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, all that warm crop stuff sitting under the grow light still. My last frost date is May 15th. Why haven't I planted them out? It's going to be 80 this week. As we talk about warm crops, we are going to exclude the peppers for now. We're going to move those over to the super warm category, and I'll explain that a little later in this video. For this, I'm going to be talking about the tomatillos, the tomatoes, ground cherries, and eggplants. Here's another one we'll throw in is basil. Basil likes the heat. And just by touching them, I can get the fragrance coming off them. These are going to be some good basil plants this year. So when it comes to the warm crops we just talked about, we got some 80-degree temperatures coming up here. Extended forecast looks halfway decent. There is some temptation to get these out. But looking at the 2-week extended forecast, I see a nighttime low of 41 degrees 2 nights in that forecast. Tomato don't like 41 degrees. Now, one of the common misconceptions is as long as there's not frost, your plants will be fine. But the problem is cooler temperatures, and tomatoes like soil temperatures around 50 to 60 degrees in the minimum range. So you don't want these to be out when that soil gets cool. What that can do is stunt these plants. So a tomato plant planted mid-May, get some cooler temperatures in there, is going to underperform a plant that's put in later. The later planting, even if it's smaller to start, is going to grow bigger and produce more than that initial planting did that you put out early. And tomatoes grow really fast. A lot of people think that it takes a long time to get tomatoes. Once tomatoes take off, when the conditions are right in the summertime, you're going to get more tomatoes than you know what to do with. And you could actually plant a second crop of tomatoes. Here's my rule when it comes to the warm crops. It's always been June 1st. Now, we got some 41 tonight, like I said. What I'm going to do, if we get closer to those 41s, and after those 41-degree nighttime lows pass, if my 2-week forecast looks good after that, and right now it does, it's all mid-50s and up at night, these plants might go in before June 1st, maybe a week early. But as a general rule of thumb, June 1st. Now my June 1st being zone 5B, once you start creeping up into that zone 6 range, areas like a little bit further south and maybe a little east in Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, then you might be able to plant out a little bit earlier. But like I've stressed when it came to the cold crops, we're not going to focus on what the Farmer's Almanac is saying for your last frost dates and all that. We're using that as a general guideline, and then we're watching the 2-week extended forecast, and we're watching it close because it changes daily. To be safe, knock at least 5 degrees off whatever they're telling you, especially if you're living in a microclimate like I am. They tell me it's 35, it might be 25. So better safe than sorry. These warm crops want warmer soil temps. It's not going to decrease production by holding off an extra couple weeks. And in the long run, your plants are going to do better than everyone else's because you planted them during the right time, under conditions that they actually enjoy and not conditions where they're fighting for their life. One more thing about these warm crops, don't rely on frost protection. There's too much of that going on right now where you go to social media and it's, I planted my plants already, we got frost coming, how can I protect them? Yes, you can use frost blankets to cover your plants, some buckets, but still they're getting exposed to those cold temperatures that are going to stunt growth. So it's easier to solve the problem in advance than it is to try to correct the problem when you've already put these out. Usually when you start getting the itch to plant the plants outside because the weather's getting nice out, it's not time to plant them out, but it is a great time to start hardening off your plants. Once you harden off your plants, you can put them outside, and if the conditions are not right, or it gets a little too low at night, you can always take them back in. And then when the good time actually comes, they're all ready to go. To summarize, your warm crops, June 1st for zone 5B, maybe a week or two earlier for zone 6. always look at the 2-week extended forecast. No lows at night below 50. It can't come soon enough because my tomatillos are growing 3 inches a day in here and starting to put on flowers. Now the last group of plants, the super warm plants. I've only got some of those started, and those are going to be like these peppers behind here, but the other ones I have not even started yet. So sharing this category with these peppers that look fantastic is going to be stuff like your cucumbers, your melons, your watermelons, pumpkins, and you could throw beans in there. Now these are plants that not only thrive in the warmer temperatures, they actually need these warmer temperatures. So unlike stuff like the tomatoes and eggplants that can recover but get stunted from the cooler temperatures, these plants can be permanently set back, and I've seen it happen. When I've planted these out at the same time as my tomatoes, it gets cold at night, tomatoes pull through, even higher temperatures, they'll pull through, but they just never recover. The plants just stay small all season and don't produce. The bugs usually catch on and finish them off the rest of the way. So I'm looking at zone 5B. First or second week of June is when I'm looking to put my peppers out in the garden. It's also when I'm looking to transplant my seedlings from my watermelons and my pumpkins. And it actually works out pretty convenient because instead of trying to plant my whole entire garden all at once, because we do plant a lot of the warm season crops in there, it gives me a little break so it's not as overwhelming. And it works really good for this setup as well, because once all this is cleared out and this stuff's hardened off, planted in the garden, and all that's left is maybe some peppers on here, which will probably already be hardened off as well, waiting outside, being brought in at night if it's too cold, going out, freeing up this whole rack for me to come and start my cucumbers and melons inside. And when I start those inside, it's going to take those plants about 2 weeks to get transplant size. So by the time they're transplant size and I start bringing them out to harden them off, all this stuff's already in here planted, and I can just focus on my super hot weather crops. These plants not only like the heat, planting them a little later is going to help with some of the disease issues we get as well, especially for our cucumbers, squashes, pumpkins, watermelons. They do not like cooler, wet weather. So in the late spring here, you do get a lot of cooler, wet weather, and that can bring fungal disease. Now, once fungal disease gets hold of your cucumbers, they're pretty much shot. Your production is not going to be great all season, and you're better off just starting new ones. And here's a bonus tip, because you deserve it. If you want to beat the pest pressure, because we all know cucumbers, your squashes, your pumpkins, there are so many different bugs that want to eat your plants. Mainly the squash bugs and the cucumber beetles and the terrible squash vine borer. Now what you can do is completely wait for these crops. Don't even think about planting them early. Wait till around July, because a lot of these only take like 60 days to get to maturity and give you a harvest. So this is kind of bad here, but maybe your neighbors are planting all this stuff. Well, if your neighbors are planting out all their cucumbers and squashes first, any pests in the area are going to go to your neighbor's house. Now you wait till July, the pests are already happy in their place, they're breeding, they're eating, killing plants, having a great time. You plant your stuff, pests are already there, your plants don't get the pests. Now they'll still come, but not as thick as they could be. But once those pests find your garden, they're going to be here all season. So bonus tip, wait till July and then plant. To summarize, your super hot crops, wait till the first couple weeks of June, always looking at the 2-week forecast. Avoid cooler, wet weather, plant when it's drier and warmer out. Have a good year this year, I think. The garlic's already 3 feet tall, looking great. Got some plums forming. The banana's coming back. Elderberry's going wild. New asparagus bed doing all right. We got mushrooms everywhere, even though they look a little nasty. Just look how loaded all these currants are. Strawberries blooming. Everything's doing great. Don't let it all get ruined by planting at the wrong time. Hope this video helps someone out. Thanks for watching.